ridicule them. In public. Don't fall for the convention that we're all too polite.
Scientism is simply religious beliefs clothed in scientific terms.
They have a belief system that they are starting with, and they're doing everything they can to force science into agreement with that belief system.
If the erosion rates were true, going back millions of years, these tracks should be disappeared millions of years ago, but they're not.
So why not put these in the museums? Because they vindicate the Bible.
Don't tell me my theory is religious and yours is science. Oh, no, sir, they're both religious. Evolution is a religion. So you have to believe.
Mainstream media, when it begins to push a scientific agenda, it consistently is leading people 180 degrees away from Scripture and a personal relationship with our Creator.
Science is a philosophy of discovery. Intelligent design is a philosophy of ignorance. That's all.
And so this is the next step of what we see as the strong delusion.
We despise him.
You're being indoctrinated. You have to answer the questions a certain way or you're going to get an F.
Do you get your cosmology from the Bible and what you can observe, or do you get it from these people who admit it is a religion, it is a belief system, it is esoteric philosophy?
The world is going to gather together to make war with God.
It's scientism versus God. That's what's going on.
You and I are descendants of Martians.
Okay, and that's not crazy. And that's not crazy?
If we are faced with a common enemy in outer space, it would indeed help to unite the Earth.
If a non-rotating flat Earth does not exist, why would you even use the phrase? Why would you even say that?
Like people sometimes release excess gas by burping. Black holes, like people, sometimes release excess gas by burping. NASA news release. Researchers working with data gathered from several telescopes, including NASA's Chandra X-ray Observatory, astronomers have caught a supermassive black hole.
My question is, through your career and your writing and your acting, you've inspired so many people to enter the sciences. How do you balance science with science fiction?
They're both the same. The mystery of science fiction is what I'm talking about. Science and science fiction are essentially the same.
Thank you very much.
How do you prove a black hole?
Nikola Tesla had something to say about those guys. He said, today's scientists have substituted mathematics for experiments, and they wander off through equation after equation and eventually build a structure which has no relation to reality. You can make math say just about anything you want it to say.
And he says, it's all in my head. I think. I said, well, how do you prove what you're thinking exists? Because it's all theory. He said, well, I've got this very elegant numbers, equation, yeah. Very E/B divided to 7 to 4. It's all in his head. How do you prove a black hole? How do you know those gravitational waves proved the collision of two black holes.
Somehow, eventually, they are able to observe phenomena.
No, they can't observe. It's too far away. It's too theoretical. How do we know what they're saying is true? You know what it really is? It's all science fiction.
So does that...
What I want to show you guys is a map that I have hanging on my wall. And it was originally in the Boston Public Library. As you can see, the Boston Public Library stamp. This map is from November the 15th of 1892. As you can see here, it says scientifically and practically correct as it is. And you can see the flat earth itself, and also you can see the ice wall around the flat earth. And that ice wall was named by the explorers who found it for thousands of years. Okay? And it's, like I said, it's scientifically and practically correct. You have morning here, you have noon here, you have evening here, and you have night here. Now I want you to notice in Roman numerals we start at 1 and we end at 12, and then we start over again. So that's 12 hours the sun is on this half of the earth, and for the other 12 hours it's on this half of the earth. As you can see right here, it starts over 1 through 12. Now, a lot of people don't understand how the seasons work, but it's very, very simple. It tells you right here. Here's the winter solstice of December. Now, this right here is the North Pole. This is the center of the Earth.
Next image. Well, here's the first image that sold the whole thing. As you can see, that's clearly the universe. I mean, that's clearly the universe. I swear to God. I mean, there's the sun. I mean, I could recognize that thing. It's a bullseye. It's like a planet. It's an egg. Whatever. But there you go. You got each rung, the whole thing. 1482. This is when they came up with this idea. We are on that thing. It's a ball. Hey, we should go to the North and the South Pole. We didn't do it yet. It's a fucking ball. Hey, nobody's even like jumped up high enough to see if it is a ball. You can't do that. We don't have planes yet. It's a ball. You know what? We adopted this whole model like 400 or 500 years before the airplane. 400 years before the airplane, pretty much. It was like, what, like beginning of the 1900s? They went to the North Pole in the 1900s. This is 1482. Nobody went to the top of the globe, to the bottom, or flew up, or built a skyscraper. That's it. It's been a decade since like Columbus hit America. That's it. You had Spinoza, Leibniz. Everybody was fighting to say what the fuck we were on, how much land there really was. Real estate, right? Real estate. The only commodity that appreciates besides art. Right? These are the only things that appreciate. Everything's depreciating except those two. It's funny how these two are going to meet and what I'm going to talk about. Next image. It's funny that we said that this is what we're in right now. This is what we're on before any instrument approved. Until pause. Can we do it? It's funny, back in the 60s when they went to the moon, this is the first time we actually had like an instrument of flight to actually go high enough to actually fucking check out if what we agreed to 500 years ago was real. So if they were wrong after 500 years, the question is, would they tell you? University institutions, physics, the Royal Society in London, that's of course NASA, Newtonian physics, why objects move on a ball spinning 1,000 miles an hour while it's going 26,000 miles around the sun. It's basically the model we accepted right now. I don't feel it's spinning 1,000 miles an hour right now. Oh, that's because of gravity. Oh yeah, gravity? What's that? That's the thing you can't feel. Oh yeah, can you prove that in an equation? Yeah, I can prove that in an equation. It took Newton like a book 3 times thicker than the Bible, and he still couldn't finish his equation on how to prove gravity. He would try to prove gravity when you read Newton's book of Principia through like Stephen Hawking, or if you even find the original book, he would prove by saying that everything started with the word if. If you fucking take Newton's book of, like, if the Earth is a ball and objects are being thrown this way, blah, 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 you know, that means that we're spinning at this amount of velocity and you can't feel it, and why the objects don't go flying off into the universe is because of gravity, because of a vacuum system of air pressure. I mean, he went into hyperbole, into ifs. I mean, if you were to highlight every time the word if came up in Newton's book of physics, you could fucking use it as a flashlight in a dark room, man. It's like, it's like you fucking get out of the cave with the amount of times if is highlighted in his fucking book on physics. It's like if is here's like a perfect example of them landing on the moon. I mean, it's proof right there. This is an official NASA photo of the first Apollo 11 lunar module landing on the moon. I mean, it's right there. This is proof, man. It's the picture's right there. It's landing on the moon. But the only problem I have with this picture is that it's taken from the moon. I don't know what the big deal was with being the first guy on the moon. It seems the camera crew was already there. The fucking tripod. Camera A, B, C. You know, back in the 60s, I mean, I know people who believe they saw the landing on the moon because they heard it on the radio. Don't get in here, they're on the moon, I can hear the dust.
And if you want these kind of dreams, it's Californication. It's the edge of the world in all of Western civilization. The sun may rise in the east, at least it's settled in a final location. It's understood that Hollywood sells Californication. Hey, Sergeant Barrow, I'll break from a very young constellation. A teenage bride with a baby inside, getting high on information. And buy me a star on a boulevard, it's Californication. Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement. In Cobain, can you hear the spheres singing songs off station to station? And now